Welcome to the another episode of Language and Linguistics. Today in this episode, we will talk about the prescriptive and descriptive grammar. So what is prescriptive grammar and what is descriptive grammar? What are their differences? Now, we will discuss this in brief. The whole system or structure of a language in general are governed by what we call grammar. There are two approaches in discussing language. The first one is implicit and the second one is explicit. So let us see what is implicit and explicit. Implicit are those in which all the native speakers of a language speak and use their languages. Explicit, on the other hand, are those in which rules of the language are learned to use the language. Traditional grammar and modern grammar are two types of explicit grammar. Traditional grammar are prescriptive grammar. They give only statement and cannot give exact reason for the set rules, whereas modern grammar are descriptive. They describe the set rules and give exact reason for the use of the rules. Prescriptive grammar is based on Latin framework, whereas descriptive grammar is entirely based on findings and researches. Prescriptive grammar gives more emphasis on both writing and speaking. And on the other hand, descriptive grammar gives more emphasis on writing. It is research-oriented approach. In other words, we can say that prescriptive grammar prescribes the rules of the language to the user of the language on how to use the language, whereas descriptive describes the rules. Since prescriptive grammar uses Latin framework, it says that there are three tenses, that is, past, present, and future. Descriptive grammar claims that there are only two tenses, that is, past and present. There is no future tense, as future tense signifies the unrealized time. Let us discuss the two approaches in the actual use of language. In prescriptive approach, a subject is the doer of the action. But in descriptive approach, a subject is a word or group of words that normally comes before verb. For example, she resembles her mother. She does not do any action yet. She is the subject in this sentence. In prescriptive approach, determiners like less or little should be placed before uncountable noun. But in descriptive, it can be placed before countable noun. For example, he works less than 30 hours. In prescriptive approach, a sentence is never allowed to end with preposition. But in descriptive approach, a sentence can end with preposition. For example, where is Ajay going to? Prescriptive approach says that word like who should be placed in the position of subject and whom should be placed in the position of object. However, whom can be placed in the position of subject in descriptive approach of language. For example, whom do you need? Thank you for spending a few minutes with me in this episode of Language and Linguistics. I hope to see you again in the next episode. Until then, goodbye and take care.